Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Valentin Dish. On Tuesday morning, villagers from Sarzoro came out in protest and raised their voice against the government's plan to divert the Sarzoro lake waters to Verna and Mormugao. Locals said that already several parts of the village are facing water crisis, and they alleged that with this plan, their livelihood will be at risk and also have a bad impact on the natural ecosystem. Watch.
Villagers from Sarzora came out in protest and raised their voice against the government's plan to divert the Sarzora lake water to Verna and Mormugao Taluka. Locals said already several parts of the village and nearby villages are also facing acute water crisis. And they also alleged that if this plan is activated, their livelihood will be at risk. Not only their livelihood, but also the natural ecosystem will be at risk and have a bad impact. Watch to what they have to say.
The government is trying to tap the water from our lake to Mormugao, which we are objecting because if the water levels of our lake goes down, then our wells will be dried. Though we have tap water, that is the government water, but still our villages are dependent on well water. So instead of the government should save Madai River, so instead of attacking our Sarzora lake, the government should focus more on saving the Madai River.
हे शेत आमी आतां रोयता पयल्याचो रोवन आमी हळदले आनी शेताचेर आमी वयसले शेत रोवन शेतां वचोन आनी दुसरें म्हळ्यार हे आतां 8 टोडी वेटलँड मुगेले एक आमगे तळे आनी हे वेटलँड आहा ते आतां ड्राय लँड करूंक सोदताय हा हितू हे कोण आनी उदक आमी दिना म्हणाय आमी दिताय कोण एमर्जन्सी जाय कोण मनशाक ह्युमन यूज जाय ते उदक व्हरोन वता पूण हे कमर्शियल यूज न्हू तांकां जाय ती प्लांट बसय हऱ्या उदकाचो आनी ते कन्वर्ट करया आनी हेज करया बडी कोताय तशें करून
Water levels are going down because of our Madai. The first reason. आम कितू तेंप जालो कितू आतां म्हयने जाले जोगताय आमगे Madai डायवर्ट कोनाक म्हूण तुमी आयक नाय तुमी आतां ते डायवर्ट करपाक सारके रेडी जावन आसाय आनी आतां तुमी यू आर गोईंग इन द विलेजीस टू टॅप द लेक्स वीच आर देर ह्यो आमगे वॉटर बॉडीज आमगेल्यो सांबाळडलो आहाय आमकां पुर्वजांनी त्यो आमकां ते गांवांक आमकां म्हणचे एक वॉटर बॉडी सोजोडे आहा ती सोजोकारांक ती दाबोली आहा ती दाबोलीकारांक So you just cannot come in the village and say हांव तुगे उदो आतां मारमोगो.
Zaditya Bidre for Herald TV.
Now the fishermen from Kakra, who are the victims of the boat fire incident in March 2023, have urged the government to grant them a minimum amount to rebuild and also repair their old canoes, or even given them new boats or canoes as compensation in response to the losses they suffered during the 20th March incident. They said the government is trying to make fun of their loss by offering them a grant of only 40,000 rupees instead of the earlier assurance of 2 lakh rupees. Watch.
Speaking, Sanjay Father Pekar, a victim of boat fire at Kakra, said that the local MLA and Panchayat members have visited the site after the incident was reported and had assured to offer all assistance. Nearly 6 fishermen's canoe and fishing net were destroyed in this incident, which resulted in a loss of 7 lakhs.
20 मार्च रातची एका कोणी तरी उजो लायलो काय लागलो देव जाण तशें ते आमकां खबर ना आनी म्हाजी आनी 4 बोटी ल्हान 4 होडी आनी एकल्याचे जाव नेट हे 6 जाणांक आमकां मार भोवला हांगा सगळे गाडी 4 गमले तुमकां जेन्ना नुस्तेकार दर्यान येवपाक गेले तेन्ना गमले आमी थोड्यांनी फायर ब्रिगेड आपयले थोड्यांनी पुलिशेक हांवें पुलिशेक आपयले मागीर फिशरी डिपार्टमेंटूय येयले आमचो MLA येयलो जावं दुसरे कोण आहले तेवूय येयले इन्सिडेंट
तुमचो MLA कोण
आमचो रुडर फेर्नांडीस बाबा
मागीर कितें सांगलें तेंच्यानी सगल्यांनी
तेणी येवन इन्स्पेक्शन केलें आनी पळयलें आनी मागीर सांगलें तेणी आमचे कडेन जाता तरी आमी हेल्प करतले म्हणून आयज पेपरार येयला की म्हाका 40,000 सँक्शन जाला म्हणून आनी ते म्हणटा म्हाजे इन्शुरन्स उरलेले म्हणून भरपाचे जेन्ना म्हाजो उडन कॅनो आहलो तेन्ना हांवें 3 वर्सां इन्शुरन्स भरलेले आनी हिणी रिप्लेसमेंट करूंक लायला आमकां बरें आमचें उडन कॅनो आनी हांवें चिंतलें की ते 3 वर्सांनी 2 वर्सां 5 जाले न्हू आनी सांगोंक पावता आमी हय डॅमेज जालें कितें जालें आमी 2 लाख दिता आनी करपास कोणाय आनी आयज पेपरार पळयता आनी वाचतना म्हाका गमलें हेणी सांगलां आमकां कांय ना तिची एक फिशरमॅनाची कमिटी आहा ते डिसिजन घेतात आनी हें सगळें तिच्यांनी केलां म्हणून हें दिवपाचें कितलें तें अशें हांवें आयकलें की बाणावले 2 आसले आनी एकल्याचो बरें नीव ताका 20,000 सँक्शन जाला. आनी जरी तर फिशरमॅनाची कमिटी आसली तेणे फिशरमॅनाची कमिटीन येवन पळोवपाक जाय न्हू ज्या जाग्यार इन्सिडंट जाला. तुमी ते पळयनासतना तुमी सँक्शन करता हें म्हाका दिसना सारकें म्हणून. आनी फिशरमॅनाची जर कमिटी आसली त्या कमिटीन तिणी येवपाक जाय, इन्स्पेक्शन करपाक पुलिशी काडूंक जाय तिणी फिशरी ऑफिसर जॉयंट इन्स्पेक्शन करपाक जाय आसलें त्या इन्सिडंटाक. आनी आतां तुमी काडटा आनी 40,000 सँक्शन करता आमी मागता म्हणून. वयल्यान आतां आमचें इन्शुरन्स उरलेलें आतां इन्शुरन्स उरल्याचें म्हाका तुमी लेटर कित्याक करूंक ना 2 वर्सां. म्हाजी फिशींग लायसन्स नेट लायसन्स सगळें गेलें तुमी. तुमी म्हाका अशें पळय आतां कशें करता ते गरिबांक 20 कोटी हा म्हणटा आनी ह्या टायमार तुमी फिशरमॅनाक हेल्प करिना. ना म्हाका आतां कितें नेटाचें म्हाका आतां खबर ना. पेपरार येयला फक्त 40,000 काकराचो इन्सिडंट जाता ताका सँक्शन जाला 40,000. हांव नकळो ते नेटाचे आनी कॅनोचेत काय कॅनोचे म्हणून.
ओके, तुम्ही वचून चौकशी काढली?
ना हांवें चौकशी काडून हांवें सांगलां ताका ते 2 जातींनी उतर दिलें म्हाका 2 लाख तरी तुका मेवतले. आनी आतां ते म्हणटा आमी सांगून हिका आनी कितें इन्स्पेक्शन घेवपा योग्य रावलें बरें ना.
तुमच्या त्या सरकारा कडेन फिशरी डिपार्टमेंटार किती मागणी आहा?
हांवें कितें म्हणलें ताका पळय आतांच्या टायमार बोटी कितले पडटा तितले तरी तुमी बोटीक जायचे तरी बांदपाक दिया न्हू म्हाका. ना तुमी तरी एक बोट डोनेट करा. 2,40,000 2,30,000 हो रेट आहा डिफरंट.
म्हणजे तो आसपास 3 लाखाचे 3 लाख जातात
आनी जहाजे प्लस
हां.
3 लाख क्रॉस जाता आतांच्या टायमार.
ओके ओके.
आतां रेट वाडला ना.
Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
With the arrival of the monsoon season, the authorities had decided to postpone the work on the Santanas Creek until after the monsoon season. However, despite previous efforts to desilt the creek, the presence of floating waste has been observed. The authorities have once again commenced the process of clearing the creek. However, a concern has arisen due to the presence of piles of mud that have been deposited alongside the creek. With the arrival of the monsoons, there is a risk that these mud piles could potentially flow back into the creek, exacerbating the problem. While efforts were underway to desilt the Santanas Creek, it has come to light that treated water is also being discharged into the creek.
With the arrival of monsoon season, the authorities had decided to postpone the work on the Santanas Creek until after the monsoon season. However, despite previous efforts to distill this creek, the presence of floating waste had been observed. The authorities have once again commenced the process of clearing the creek. However, a concern has risen due to the presence of piles of mud that have been deposited alongside the creek. Now, with the arrival of monsoon, there is a risk that these mud piles could potentially flow back into the creek, further aggravating the problem. Sagan Gowde for Herald TV.
The residents of Ponda and the Ponda Municipal Council have placed the blame on the sewerage department for the waterlogging issue. They allege that the sewerage pipelines and the chambers encroached upon the municipal drains, leading to the choking of rainwater gutters. This resulted in 2 days of chaos where people had to face dirty water and sewage. The authorities worked to clear the waterlogging at Ponda bus stand, which required the digging of roads and underground drains. The situation highlighted the unpreparedness of the authorities for the monsoon season, with locals mentioning that the recent PMC election and the subsequent code of conduct further delayed the necessary monsoon preparations.
The residents of Ponda and the PMC have placed blame on the sewage department for the waterlogging issues. They allege that the sewage and pipelines and chambers encroached upon the municipal drains, leading to the choking of rainwater gutters. This resulted in 2 days of chaos where the people had to face dirty water and sewage. The authority worked to clear the waterlogging issues at Ponda bus stand, which required the digging of roads and underground drains. The situation highlighted the unpreparedness of the authorities for the monsoon season, with locals mentioning that the recent PMC elections and the subsequent code of conduct further delayed the necessary monsoon preparations.
फोंड्यान जे शेनवाराच्यान उदक ब्लॉक जाल्लें
ताका लागून आमचे नगराध्यक्ष 9:30 हांगा आशिल्ले आनी तशेंच म्युनिसिपल इंजिनियर देसाय दीपक देसाई हांगा आशिल्ले, जुनियर इंजिनियर आशिल्ले फट्टे आनी तांणी हांगा जेन्ना पयलीं तेणी थंय धाकटोसो एक पीट मारलो आनी चेक केलें तेन्ना सगळे ब्लॉकेज आशिल्ले आनी ताजे नंतर तांकां कळ्ळें की थंय ती ब्लॉकेज ते ओपन करून सुद्दां ती ब्लॉकेज हे जायना म्हणून जेन्ना हांगा जो चेंबर बांदला सिवरेज डिपार्टमेंटान तो तांणी ओपन करतकीर कळ्ळें की जो एक्झिस्टींग कल्वर्ट आसा जे गटर आशिल्ले व्हडले 2 मिटराचे ते तांणी कट केला आनी तांणी जो तेंचो जो पीट आसा तो पीट तांणी त्या गटराच्या हातून एनक्रोचमेंट केल्लो आसा. हांव म्हणना की काम करता आसतना तांकां कट करचें पडलें, तेणी तो कल्वर्ट कंप्लीट कट केला आनी मागीर फक्त एक ल्हानशें 40चे हे पायप घातलां प्लास्टीक रबर पायप आनी मागीर तांणी ती माती आनी मातयेचे पोती भरल्या, सिमेंटाची पोती मातयेन भरल्या आनी पॅक केला आनी एक ल्हानशें पायप घातला. ताका लागून हे सगळें उदक जें आसा तें ब्लॉक जाल्लें आशिल्लें. सिवरेज डिपार्टमेंटान जेन्ना दुसरे डिपार्टमेंटाचे गटर कट करता तेन्ना तेणी आशिल्लें तशें तें रिस्टेट करपाक जाय आनी इतलो एनक्रोचमेंट करपाक जायनाशिल्लो. तेंची जी मडकी आसा पळय सिवरेजीची, ती स्टोरींग टँक आसता पळय सिवरेजीची, ती एनक्रोचमेंट करून तेणी ऑलरेडी गटरान हाडलेली आसा. जे काम आसता पळय तें प्लॅनिंग करून करपाक जाय.
खंयच आमकां हांगा जाला आनी टायम जाणून नजरे येवना. हे फर्स्ट टायम हांगा जालें. आतां रिजन आमकां कळ्ळें कित्याक की अशें केन्ना हांगा जायनाशिल्लें. मेजरान तुमी अंडरग्रावंड जो रोडाक जो हें केला नाला गटर व्हडले गटर तेन्ना मोडून ते पायप घातले. तेच्या खातीर कितें जालें की उदक सगळें ब्लॉक जालें. की पायपाची पळय इल्लो तो ब्लॉक पायपाचें तोंड जें आसा खूब बारीक आसा आनी नाला मातसो व्हडलो आशिल्लो. हें घालतकीच कितें मोडून ताणें घातिल्लो तो म्हणून तें काडलें आमी आनी सगळें उदक आतां तुमी
आता हांगा मोठे पाईप घालतले काय तेच घालतले पाईप मोठे घालतले काय तेच घालतले
आतां आमी आतां ना आशिल्लो न्ही हो जो हांगा पोलाच्या वताना तो व्हडलो गटरूच आसा तो तेणी म्हणून तो घातिल्लो. कित्याक तो तांकां विचारपाक जाय कित्याक घातिल्लो. तो हांगा तेंची चेंबरी आसा सो तेणी म्हणून तो घातिल्लो. कितीन तुमकां विश्वासान घेवना तेंच्यानी आमकां हे काय खबर ना तेणी कितें केलें कितें सिग्रेजीन केलें काम. हें जेन्ना आमकां खंयच्या जेन्ना हें पायप मेळ्ळें आमकां तेन्ना आमकां कळ्ळें तेणें पायप घातला.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
Recently, the High Court has asked the Goa government to come up with a proper plan of traffic management in the city. But in spite of installing the best technology in traffic management, the government has failed to have a smooth traffic management and flow plan. Today in our special series of Street Voices, Team Herald spoke to different people to know their opinion on what are the main reasons behind the government's failure to achieve smooth traffic flow, despite installing advanced technology, and what should be done instead.
We leave no stone unturned to get to the concerns of the people and the issues they want to raise. It's your voice on your platform, Herald TV.
So, what do you think about this traffic thing happening?
Yeah, regarding the traffic, government is implementing rules, but nobody follows. Mostly, especially this tourists who are coming in Goa, they don't follow the rules. Traffic signal they don't follow. In any way, whatever direction they want to. Especially when I see near the Divya Circle or in Panjim Market over here. In the evening, mostly after 5-6 o'clock, where there is no entry, people will enter. But that should be strictly followed.
And how it can be done, like to sort all this problem like here?
Mostly I feel like this, nowadays government has installed cameras and all everywhere. That should be strictly followed. And manually they have to keep traffic police also. Maybe in a hidden place or somewhere like. With a hidden camera also it will be good. It has to be like, see, now government has implemented this camera system and all. That should be strictly followed. Now recently they said that it will be started before 22nd or something like that. I think it is not working. Because I see in Porvorim near showroom, even if signal is the red signal, people go directly, they don't stop. I think they have to be fined. Whoever breaks the law, means break the signal, they have to they have to be fined, and that has to be strictly followed. Recently, I think they have built a new roads and all. And I don't know how long it will last. That has to be, see, now they have started all this technology. Even the road conditions, some places it's not, still it's not okay. Okay, on a highway and main in the city side, it's okay, but still they have to take a note of this. They have to take the note that roads are proper, because mostly two-wheelers are having issues with the roads. When they come to the side of the road, like tourist people come, they ride very rashly. So if you go on the side of the road, then nowadays this drainage are open some places. Two-wheelers are tend to get with an accident, met with an accident. They tend to slip and fall down. So government has to see that.
After years of neglect, the Panjim Municipal Market and the Fish Market are finally going to undergo a much-needed renovation. CCP Mayor Rohit Monserrat announced the plans on Tuesday, stating that the market complex will be revamped. Additionally, the Fish Market and Sopo areas will also be redone. To tackle the issue of water leakage during the monsoon season, the Fish Market shed will be repaired soon. The tender process for the market renovation is expected to be completed within the next 2 to 3 months. The fish vendors have expressed their concerns and requested the CCP for a larger space, improved water supply and a hygienic space.
After years of neglect, the Panjim Municipal Market and Fish Market are finally going to undergo a much-needed renovation. CCP Mayor Rohit Monserrat announced the plans on Tuesday, stating that the market complex will be revamped. Additionally, the Fish Market and Sopo areas will also be redone. To tackle the issue of water leakage during the monsoon season, the Fish Market shed will be repaired soon. The tender process for the market renovation is expected to be completed within the next 2 to 3 months.
We're planning on doing our renovation of the market. We're planning. Every city deserves to have a beautiful market also, and ours has kind of been neglected for some time. So we're planning on redoing our fish market area. We want to redo this Sopo area and everything also. The purpose of visit is that to see what we can do to better upgrade the so people have a better experience also. It's a cleaner.
Can come start
No, so now we'll see first what is the thing. Within the next 2-3 months before monsoon, we'll prepare the tender. We want to start work immediately after that also.
आता आमकां पयलो बाजार आसलो न्हू तो बाजार जाता धाकटो म्हाजें कितें आहा पयलीं सर रिक्वेस्ट केल्ली म्युन्सिपाल्टीक जेन्ना जायते मेयर जाले मागीर सांगलें आतां नेव पळय आमकां बाजार बांदता तो पयलोच आमकां व्हडलो दी कित्याक आतां पळय लोक आतां जाय 4 भाशेचें नुस्तें येता तूं एकूच भाशेचें नुस्तें घेवन विकतलो कसो धंदो जातलो जावचो ना व्हडलो जर मातसो लुगार आसत तर तांकां बसून विकूंकूय बऱ्याक पडटलें 4 भाशेचें नुस्तें म्हण हांवें आतां मेयराक रिक्वेस्ट केला की तेणें मातशें हेजेर नदर मारची ते बाजार बांदचे पयलींच लोकांक व्हडलो लुगार करून दिलो तर बाजारूय व्हडलो जातलो आनी दुसरें आमचें प्रॉब्लम आहा उदकाचें सगळ्यांकीन व्हडलें प्रॉब्लम कित्याक म्हणल्यार पळय बाजारान उदक चड लागता नुस्तें मातशें उदक सुकता उदक मारचें पडटलें उदकाचें व्हडलें प्रॉब्लम आहा उदक ना आतां पयलींच्या मेयरान सांगलें उदक घालतलो दुसऱ्यान सांगलें जालें उदक चड गरजेचें तेमी सांगलें नोट घालता म्हणून पूण हाजी मागणी कितें नोट नाका टांकी घाल आमकां 12 वरांय उदक मेळटलें 24 वरां काय आमी आसना 12 वरां तरी आमकां उदक मेळटलें बाजारान बसून आमकां उदक हाडचें पडटा 5 रुपया बालडी ते कशें जातलें कोणा कडेन एकल्या कडेन एकूच पाकीट आसता न्हू तो आनी ते सोप्याचे हेजे तेजे म्हणून जावचें ना ते आनी मातशें आमच्या पोत्रीन कितें कितें डियानाच्या ती तशें ताका रिक्वेस्ट केला हे मातशें सोपो आमचो धाकटो आहा नुस्तें मातसो व्हडलो दी म्हणून नुस्तें पडटा आनी खंयी मातशें भायर येयलें जाल्यार
सगळें भोंवता पावसांनी रावपाक बसोंक मेळना
ओके कितली वर्सां जाल्या
एका वर्सा जावना हे लास्ट इयर थंय फुटलेले
तशें आहा
सांगता एवरी टायम येता तो एवरी टायम सांगता तेका
ओके
रिपेर करपाक
आतां कितें सांगलां मेयरान कितें सांगलें
दिता म्हणला
करून दिता म्हणून केन्ना करून केन्ना दिता म्हणला
5 दीस राव म्हणला तेणे 5 दिसांनी
5 दिसांत ते करून दिता म्हणला आनी कितें प्रॉब्लेम आहा तुमकां
आनी कितें आहा सगळें पळय रॅप जाता हिंगा सगळें उदक भरता हिंगा तें आनी कांय ना आमकां बाजार क्लीन जाल्यार आमकांय बरें दिसता न्हू
केन्ना क्लीन करता पळय पुटोर
ते आफ्टरनून करता देखपाचें करता रातचें करता 2 टायम करता म्हणटात पूण आमी देखपार आसोना
Sagun Gowde for Herald TV.
Speaker Ramesh Tawardkar on Tuesday announced that the monsoon session of the Goa Legislative Assembly will commence either in the 3rd or the 4th week of July and continue till the 2nd week of August. The session is expected to span a duration of 15 to 20 days. The dates will be announced in the next 2 to 3 days.
Speaker Ramesh Tawardkar on Tuesday announced that the monsoon session of the Goa Legislative Assembly will commence either in the 3rd or 4th week of July. The session will continue until the second week of August. The session is expected to span a duration of 15 to 20 days.
असेंब्ली सेशन जे आसा नॉर्मली जुलय म्हयन्याच्या तिसऱ्या चवथ्या आठवड्याक सुरू जाता आनी हें सेशन तशें थोडेशें लेंथी आसता केन्ना तरी 15 दिसां आसता केन्ना तरी 20 दिसां आसता एज पर गव्हर्मेंटाचो बिझनेस आसा न्ही त्या बिझनेसा प्रमाणे तें आसता म्हाका दिसता हें सेशन सुद्दां आत्तां म्हणजे डेट जरी अनावन्स जाली ना तें सादारणशें आमी तिसऱ्या आठवड्यान शेवटच्या आगवी तें डिक्लेअर जातलें आनी सादारणशें 15 ते 20 दीस असो कालखंड आसतलो आनी ज्या म्हणजे अपेक्षीत आसा की जे विरोधक जे आसा ते तांचें म्हणणें आसा की आमकां वेळ मेळचो चर्चा करपाक वगैरे सगळें म्हाका निश्चितपणे म्हाका सांगपाक दिसता की ह्या जे सेशनाक आसा न्ही तसो थोडेशें लेंथी सेशन आसतलें आनी तसो डिस्कशनाक एक वाव जे जे विशय जे विरोधक अपेक्षीत करता तांकां योग्य टायम मेळटलो अशें म्हाका दिसता.
Bureau Report, Herald TV.
Though there are many tourist vehicles on Goan roads, it is Goans who die the most in road accidents. The Logistics Committee of the Goa Chamber of Commerce and Industry held a seminar on better road safety ecosystem in the state. Discussions on responsibility of various stakeholders to reduce accidents in Goa were discussed.
North Goa SP Nidhin Walson mentioned that the number of accidents are less, but fatal accidents are more. Walson said that as far as fatal accidents are concerned, even as it is tourism state, the maximum number of accidental deaths are of Goans.
Since I am addressing a group where we have a lot of youngsters sitting in, I would just like to highlight what I have understood while going through and studying this program, this issue. I am basically SP North Goa and crime. I have, in between, I have looked after the charge of traffic, though I am not the full-scale SP traffic. But since I am in the district and since I have seen accidents, see, most serious of the accidents are the accidents in which life is gone, but at the same time, grievous accidents are also equally dangerous as well. When we study the accidents in Goa, I am more concerned about the fatal accidents because I think that is something which we can't give back to the person. In the entire world, one thing which we can't never give back to any person is life. When life is gone, we can't give back. Whereas whenever life is there, we can try to improve it, we can try to better it. But if the life is gone, we can't give it. So fatal accidents, when we are studying, what we understood is that though it's a tourism-rich area where there are a lot of footfall of tourists, the majority of the people who are losing lives in Goa for two accidents are Goans only. And in that fatal accidents, there are loss of lives. 67 to 80% of the people belongs to the age group which one of the speakers already mentioned, from 80 to 35 or 40. And of that, 80% to 90% of those people are two-wheelers.
Professor Sebastian Morris said that there are serious issues with structures engineering of road and safety of commuters is concerned.
National highways were built, there are 6-lane highways, but you will have a road median which goes for 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers without a break. However, anybody can join in on the left side. Okay? Now what kind of nonsensical design is this? I have found it nowhere else in the world. So what happens, any trucker is going to come in on the left side, he wants to go here, he won't go that way and turn around because that means another 3 kilometers. So he'll go ulta. Okay? And this is one of the most serious reasons for serious accidents on the highways. That alone has killed a number of people. And believe me, cops in Ahmedabad, even now I guess, they don't know that this is a more serious violation than not wearing your safety belt. Okay? So if you don't wear your seat belt, they'll charge you. However, if somebody comes the wrong way on a divided road, there is nothing in the manual which says that I should catch this car. Okay? So can you imagine this? That you have the designer, what's the designer? You have a long median and fellows joining in on the left. There is absolutely no hierarchy on Indian roads. All roads all over the world are designed on hierarchy. Okay? What is hierarchy? There is a huge highway passing, you don't just enter it. Okay? You have a so-called service road, which is, we are just beginning to do that. But then, if you look at the Indian service roads, they attack the roads at such an angle that you are inviting accidents. So they have been literally death traps.
Prasad Polji for Herald TV.
The Vasco police have issued a lookout notice against two individuals, Amir Sikdar from Bangladesh and Muhammad Ali from New Delhi. The notice has been issued in connection with the alleged break-in incident that occurred at the residence of an NRI in Chekali last month. During the break-in, the accused made off with valuable possessions. The stolen items included 2 watches, earrings, 500 pounds and a sum of cash amounting to 25,000 rupees, with an overall estimated value of 1.6 lakh rupees. On Tuesday afternoon, an accident was reported at the National Highway 66 between a two-wheeler and a jeep vehicle at the Kamar Khajan junction. In this accident, the two-wheeler rider was seriously injured and presently undergoing treatment at the North Goa District Hospital. Watch.
A major accident was reported at Perne on the National Highway 66 on Tuesday afternoon. In this accident was between two vehicles, one a two-wheeler and a Bolero jeep, wherein in collision, the two-wheeler rider was seriously injured. He is presently undergoing medical treatment at the North Goa District Hospital in Mapusa. Watch.
Two-wheeler Goa to right side close left side वो मोदन होता लो मागे तो वो क्या यानी कट मारले यानी कट मारले यानी फाटली ना को यानी डाले जर चूक मारले ते एक मोदन कट मारून जाईना
ओके इंजरी किती झाल्या
माझं लागलं ते हॉस्पिटल नेला त्यांना
दोन्ही गाडी वाटतो एकदा टू व्हीलर
त्याच्या ओरोबा खातीर यानी एका येवट कट मारले हांगा तुम्ही त्याला पेशंट शॉक मारले पण गाडी यानी त्याला पडली
ओके चूक कोणाची बोलले ना बोले
के मोदन सुकट मारून का ना
चढ लागला
लागले ते मोदन सुकट मारून जाणार हाय रोड सुकट मारून शकता ना कोणी मध्ये राहून होतो जायला.
A story by Prakash Gadekar for Herald TV.
Parents and students are facing great inconvenience at the integrated school complex in Kujira as the footpath construction work has remained incomplete. When Herald team visited the complex on Monday afternoon, it was found that the Goa State Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, appointed contractor executing the work, has abandoned the site. Paver blocks and other construction material were lying along one of the two lanes within the school complex. A portion of the second lane stretch has been excavated and rainwater has accumulated, leaving little space. Students and parents were forced to walk on the road even as four-wheelers and two-wheelers were seen plying on the same stretch.
When contacted Harish Adkankar, Managing Director of GSIDC, to question why the contractor has abandoned the site without completing the construction work of the footpath, Adkankar claimed that the site has not been abandoned by the contractor. It's not that the work is not going on, we have to work only during the second half of the day, because during school hours we cannot work, so the contractor will be concentrating on the area in front of the office of the Sports Authority of Goa, then he will cover the outer areas, the GSIDC MD said.
आज जे पळयता तुम्ही आज भायर पळयला आज जे कोणाकूय आता फाल्यां ही सॉक जाले जे पडलो घुसपून जाल्यार कोण जबाबदार आज हे गव्हर्नमेंट बरें काम करता वायट न्हू बेस्ट काम करता मात हे काम करता न्हू कॉन्ट्रॅक्टराक ती जबाबदारी आसूंक जाय ती इंजिनियरान येवन पळोवंक जाय की बाबा काम हे कंप्लीट करता काय ना आतां पळय आयज जे 2 म्हयने जाला काम करपाक टायम आसलो ना तुका की बाबा वेकेशन हॉलिडे आसली हे काम करपाक कंप्लीट करपाक जातालें मागीर कित्याक करूंक ना हे इतले म्हाजे क्वेश्चन मार्क गव्हर्नमेंटा कडेन जाता इतले बेगीन करचें आतां फाल्यां मुस्तीपंड इस्कॉल सुट्टे काय ना स्मॅक जाता भुरगे खंयचे खंय धांवता ते पळयता तुमी आयज भुरग्यांक कितें प्रॉब्लेम जाता तो फाल्यां डेम्पो कॉलेज स्टार्ट जावपाची आहा डेम्पे कॉलेज जातकीच आनीक स्मॅक्स जाता कोण जबाबदार हांव हे गव्हर्नमेंटा कडेन बेगींतले बेगीन मागता रिक्वेस्ट कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर काडून मातशे रिक्वेस्ट काम करून बेगींतले बेगीन घेवचे.
Sagun Gowde for Herald TV.
Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news and alerts, please follow us on Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.